share something really quick that happened to me this morning. So, this morning, I wake up perfectly fine with the intention of going to work, and I'm like, yeah, normal routine day. Well, about 15 to 20 minutes after I woke up, I get this terrible, terrible pain in my abdomen area. It's it's cramps, cause not to get really graphic and detailed, but basically my days were supposed to be here about a week ago, but I have very irregular ones. So, um, when it's delayed, I know that I'm going to suffer a very, very painful week. Well, I thought that by today it would be here, but it wasn't. And then standing up, eating, washing the dishes, and all of a sudden, the pain really, really, really intensifies. And I'm like, holy crap, this is knocking the air out of me. So I lay down, I wait for my mom to be done taking her shower. I start taking my shower. I'm done taking my shower. And I text my mom and I tell her, can you come to the bathroom really quick? She comes to the bathroom, opens the door slowly, and I'm pretty much bending down, rubbing my belly. And I'm like, I can't believe that I'm saying this, but you don't happen to have ibuprofen, do you? And she says, no. I used the last ones about a week ago. And I said, well, you know that I don't believe in pills and junk, but I want to be responsible. I don't want to miss my shift today like I did back in November. If you guys have been in my channel for a while, on my channel for a while, you'll remember how I left work in the middle of my shift back in November from this very same problem. So, as the minutes passed, I started to feel a little dizzy and then just cold. Like like internally I'm cold despite being warm because I was wearing, you know, like 2 layers after I took my shower. I was able to get dressed. Anyways, it turns out that my mom immediately fixed me some kind of tea. She said, "Oh, this is really good for cramps." And I drank it as quickly as I could. And I looked at the time. I kept looking at the time. When mom fixed me the tea, it was like 5 minutes away before my window of time that I have to call work and call out without being penalized for it. So by the time I made up my mind, I was like, I'm not going to work. I look at the time and I only had 2 minutes. And I said, by the time that you know, they get to my call or something, I feel like my window of time is going to be up. And I said, you know what? I'm going to toughen through this. So I ended up going to work. And I immediately told my boss, I was like, just to give you a heads up, I'm not supposed to be here. I had the intention of calling out because I did not feel very, very, very well physically. This is what's happening. And I told him the severe cramps and everything. And I'm like, but it was pointless for me to call out because I would be penalized as if I would have left my shift in the middle of it. So, um, I didn't want to face that kind of consequence. Like, I missed my window. So, I'm here and I just want to make it. So, if I made a mistake by showing up, then I've learned my lesson. As soon as I feel the symptoms in the future, I'll be sure to call out. But I really just want to toughen through it because I cannot afford to be losing those hours, you know? Our hours keep getting reduced, and my paycheck last time was particularly small, and that's worrying me because if this is going to become the new norm, I'll have to either do something extremely extra on the side or maybe consider looking for something else. But I don't want to have to take that route, you know? But anyways, I showed up and everything was fine. I took some ibuprofen that we happened to have in our cabinet, and I took it nice and slow and easy. And my boss was like, if you need help with anything, like maybe sit down to rest or something, let me know. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do the best that I can to not resort to that, you know? And in the end, guys, it was a tough day physically because I officially could not bend like I'm used to, or move with the flexibility that I'm used to. But at least I made it. I made it through my shift. And my mentality was, well, if I made the wrong call, at least I will work for an hour or 2 hours as opposed to missing an entire day with the same consequences as calling out altogether outside of my window. So, so yeah, guys, the point that I wanted to illustrate now is that it is said, you guys know about the wage gap and the explanation for it. Well, it is said that women tend to take more days off and just be out of work more often than men. And I'm an example. It is true for me. The times that I have been absent is because of physical problems. So I'm not someone who just calls out to go hang out and mess around and, live the Friday life, right? But but physically, I'm an example of someone who in a year sometimes I have to take my days off because my body demands it. So, how can I get mad that I'm not earning as much on average as my male counterparts when my male counterparts don't have this problem? There are rules. The rules are if you want money, you have to work. People's time is what brings money to their homes, you know? That's why you get paid. You get paid for your time. So, had I called out today, I would have missed out on my hours for today. And that means lost wages. So, how can I possibly get mad at society and be like, you know, patriarchy, this and that, because I lost my money because I couldn't work? I mean, I don't think I should be rewarded for not working. If I have the time off, which I actually do, I can use it. I'm trying not to touch it, but I can use it. That's what it's there for, to resolve for emergencies. But I just wanted to let you guys know my opinion on women losing more wages than men. Well, from my personal experience, from my point of view, this is one of the reasons why I lose wages and I do not earn probably as much as most people. First of all, I'm only part time, and second of all, I'm sometimes missing days. It doesn't happen often. It's usually once or twice a year, like one day or two out of the year. And after that, my attendance is pretty perfect. But until I can go to the doctor and find out what's happening to me, this is how it's going to be for me. I'm trying to not mess with drugs in general. Um, so that's why, in part, a part of me is not a hurry. It's not in a hurry to go to the doctor. But also, um, another part of me is I just cannot afford it. I don't want for my hard work and the little bit of progress that I'm making on my finances to be knocked out of the, knocked out by an effing medical bill. I've been there before, and I said to myself, I would rather be left to die than to incur that stress on my household of me having a medical bill. My mom knows it, so of course I don't think she'll act on it if the moment of truth were to come, like if I'm if I'm if my condition is severe and something about me has to be decided, but I told her you do what is best for you and think about the burden that it would mean, that it would incur. I'm just not selfish like that. So I told her if something were to happen to me, just know that I wouldn't hate you for it. I would understand you for making the decisions that you make. So, anyways, you guys, that concludes my rambling. I know it's kind of weird. I was not planning on making this video, but then again, if stuff that happened this morning happened, is because it had to happen for me to finally address this topic. I had it on my but pending video list, but it's like this morning what needed to happen happened for me to give you an episode and an example of why this is applicable to me. So, what do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think that it's actually unfair and I'm missing the point that most people generally think of this as? Am I being too harsh on myself? I mean, it's possible. I've thought about it. But, anyways, I'm at home now. I'm going to take it easy, just rest, and, just keep on going because that's all that I have to do. That's all that I can do. But but at the same time, I wanted to put it out there that this is how I feel about that so-called wage gap. So the way that people present it is pretty misleading, and I don't want to be a person who propagates that myself. I'm not someone who supports that stuff because if I can't identify with it, that means that it's not applicable for everybody. And I want for my story to be out accurately. So, anyways, all right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I'm not sure when I'll come back. I'll try to be back tonight, but if you don't hear from me, it's because I'm really, really trying to catch up on my rest and feel better. But, but I will definitely be reading and catching up on the comments that you guys are leaving me because it's accumulating on me. And I'm sorry, but at least know that I'm reading them. All right. See you soon.